We are part of a vast and diverse planet. Each of us has a unique story. Each of us have been influenced by family, community, education, and our peers. We need each other as much as our independence. We need our privacy as much as our professional life. We work to utilize our skills and to receive a paycheck. We are guided by rules and boundaries to keep from upsetting one another. Being pleasant and respectful should be the norm, not the exception. In a world full of people and opportunities, a socially fulfilling life can be pursued in your personal time. As work needs boundaries, it is important not to view or substitute work as a social playground. When interacting, ask yourself if your behavior would change if someone from your family was in the room, or would you want someone in your family to be treated this way?
Harassment in the workplace. Both men and women commit the crime, but why is it mostly men that sexually harass their coworkers? Sadly, it is all those reasons and one more. To these men, people are things, nothing more. Many men have difficulty handling power and money with grace. Intense issues of entitlement and control often go unchecked, thus become the norm. And powerful men who are focused solely on themselves are more likely to objectify others. These men exploit and mistreat others simply because they can get away with it. Let's start at the beginning.
Integrity, honesty, and moral conduct are essential elements in a good leader. A good leader creates a work environment conducive to creativity and productivity, an atmosphere that is safe and free of harassment. Sexual harassment at work occurs whenever unwelcome conduct on the basis of gender affects a person's job. There are two types of unlawful sexual harassment. Harassment that results in a tangible employment action, or quid pro quo, or this for that, caused by a supervisor, or one that can influence employment actions. A hostile environment resulting from the gender-based, unwelcome conduct of supervisors, co-workers, customers, vendors, or anyone else with whom the victimized employee interacts on the job. Such activities include discussing sexual activities or commenting on physical attributes, telling off-color jokes or using crude and offensive language, using demeaning or inappropriate terms, unnecessary touching or using indecent gestures, engaging in hostile physical conduct, sabotaging the victim's work, granting job favors to those who participate in consensual sexual activity. When does an environment become sexually hostile? It must be subjectively abusive to the persons affected, and it must be objectively severe or pervasive enough to create a work environment that a reasonable person would find abusive. To determine whether the behavior is severe or pervasive enough to create a hostile environment, the following facts need to be considered. The frequency and severity of the unwelcome discriminatory conduct. Whether the conduct was physically threatening or humiliating. Whether the conduct unreasonably interfered with work performance. The effect on the employee's psychological well-being, and whether the harasser was a superior in the organization. Only unwelcome conduct can be sexual harassment. The clearest case is when an employee tells a potential harasser a specific conduct is unwelcome and makes the employee uncomfortable. The word no, or a shake of the head no, is clear and not ambiguous. Consensual dating, joking, and touching are not harassment if they are welcomed by the persons involved. Sexual relationships may end between two employees, and each should have the right to end a relationship at any time without fear of retaliation on the job. Herein lies the distinction between one's personal and professional life. If you flirt with someone at a party, you can't get arrested, but if you flirt with someone at work, you could lose your job. The work environment should not be a sexually provocative place, and your mouth and hands do not have independent lives of their own.
Well, some people are just asking to be sexually harassed by the way they act or dress.
That is not accurate or acceptable.
A person can really discourage sexual harassment if they want to.
Very often, the harasser does not accept no for an answer.
I've heard most charges of sexual harassment are false.
Since the system can be hostile to accusers, what is their motive to lie?
If you ignore the behavior, the problem will resolve itself.
Over 61% of women surveyed said that telling the harasser to stop was effective.
All these concerns of sexual harassment are exaggerated.
It is all about domination and punishment with devastating effects.
Sexual harassment is decreasing as a problem.
Sexual harassment affects 40 to 60% of working women. 10 to 20% of men have experienced harassment in the workplace.
Sexual harassment is bound to happen when people work together.
Interactions are natural. Uninvited advances are not. I can't believe you said that. I hope you know that behavior is not acceptable here. I can't concentrate on my work when you say things like that. Comments like that make me uncomfortable. I don't understand how your comment is relevant to this discussion. I am hoping you misspoke, but please don't do it again.
Many people find it difficult to intervene when they observe someone sexually harassing another person. They may not have the training or could be worried about the reaction of their peers. Some feel it is not their business. Rather than passive bystanders, co-workers need to know how to respond when they observe or listen to one who has been harassed. Listen to the details of what actually happened. Be supportive and reassuring. If the behavior is inappropriate, encourage the co-worker to speak directly to the offending person and offer to accompany them, or suggest sending a letter making clear the behavior is offensive. If the behavior is unacceptable, encourage the co-worker to meet with their supervisor or department in charge of complaints. If possible, intervene non-violently to stop the behavior. If the behavior is inappropriate, tell the offending person what you observed and urge that person to correct their behavior. If the behavior is unacceptable, inform management and encourage the recipient to submit a complaint through the proper channels. In addition, you should fully document the incident and follow up to ensure prompt resolution. You have a right to work in an atmosphere free of harassment, free of unwelcome jokes, gestures, or comments of a sexual nature, free of unwelcome displays of sexually suggestive objects or pictures, free of unwelcome flirting or unwanted sexual advances, free of unwelcome touching or blocking movements. Prevention is the best tool to eliminate sexual harassment in the workplace. Here are the do's and don'ts of sexual harassment. Do admit that a problem exists. Tell the offender specifically what you find offensive. Tell the offender that his or her behavior is bothering you. Specify what you want or don't want to happen. Don't blame yourself for someone else's behavior. Choose to ignore the behavior. Try to handle any severe or recurring harassment by yourself. The effects of sexual harassment vary from person to person. Victims of chronic harassment can suffer the same psychological effects as rape victims. They can become the target of retaliation after they're complaining or filing a formal grievance. It is sad when good people come to work to be of service, only to be abused. Remember that no means no.
Many companies have done very little to create a workplace free of harassment. And they pay a high price. And the people who leave their jobs take their ideas, their talent, and their potential to another company. At this time, it is predominantly men who decide whether to prevent harassment or allow it to spread. Managers must do more than create policies and provide trainings. They must once and for all decide whether their company culture will provide treatment for harassers or enable them. Ask yourself if this employee can change. Ask the employee if they want to change. If the answer is yes, provide a personalized evaluation and retrain the abuser. What works effectively is interactive training, preferably one-on-one. Taking real, significant action may transform the abuser into a respectful worker. It's a win-win. Investing in the well-being of your employees is a sound investment. Employees have the legal right to perform their job without being subjected to workplace harassment. Sexual harassment occurs whenever unwelcome conduct on the basis of gender affects a person's job. Harassment, whether deliberate or not, is an issue that must be addressed and handled immediately. It can take a serious toll on the victims as well as affect the accused, the coworkers, and the company itself. While we often link sexual harassment to unwanted advances or inappropriate sexual comments, it also includes any discriminatory action based on gender. Harassment is an expression of power and hostility, establishing dominance, a desire to protect occupational territory, approval of sexual objectification, displacement of responsibility, entitlement, narcissism, and attitudes toward people, race, creed, religion, and disability. Employees often say, "He is such a great guy and would never do that." That could be true. It could also be true that we do not know what happens in a private setting or in the privacy of one's mind. A great guy could have grave problems and need help. Keep in mind, activities or behaviors that are inappropriate but consensual are a separate matter. If you are in a situation where you tell a potential harasser that a specific conduct is unwelcome and makes you uncomfortable, or even if you said no or signaled no by shaking your head, it is important to admit that a problem exists. Specify what you want or don't want to happen. Walk away and do not gossip. List the details of what actually happened. Was the verbal or physical behavior of a sexual nature? Was this conduct offensive to those that witnessed it? Was this behavior being initiated by one who has power over you? Do you have to tolerate this type of conduct in order to keep your job? Does this conduct make your job unpleasant? Do not blame yourself for someone else's behavior. Do not choose to ignore the behavior, for you're on the side of right. Report and discuss with the appropriate source. In the case of a sexual harassment claim, it's illegal for your employer to retaliate against you or the witness. For your organization, there are many ways to eliminate harassment, but it must start from the top down. As for the harasser, studies show rather than punishment or termination, action should include counseling and training. Sometimes a talented worker needs training on behavior skills. Without help, this worker will simply go to another company and the damage will continue. A good employee on the outside will benefit from meeting the good person within, if they're willing to try. Measure the cost of workplace incivility. It's been described as the gateway drug to workplace harassment. Incivility is disruptive to productivity and is more subtle than bullying, yelling, or physical violence. Rudeness will undermine your bottom line, especially if it spills into customer view. We must take steps to minimize rudeness and reinforce acceptable behavior. Sadly, most employees don't report incivility because they fear retribution. Civility is a group of positive behaviors that produce feelings of dignity, respect, and trust. Every day, we should strive to model good behavior, not enable poor behavior. Acceptable conduct should be defined and maintained. No one expects perfection, but we do expect respectful workplace behavior. Physical harassment includes all types of physical violence against a person or their property. Verbal harassment is when an employee receives or is subjected to hurtful, offensive, and derogatory remarks from their employer or coworkers. Harassment cost U.S. businesses $20 billion last year alone. Let's make sure we do not believe the common myths.
We all know harassment when we see it.
It's just a few individuals who have the problem.
Educating everyone is a waste of time.
Please understand, it is both a psychological and an occupational issue and must be fully addressed. Excellent behavior is expected from everyone. Up to 75% of employees in the U.S. have either witnessed or have experienced workplace harassment and poses a tremendous challenge for management. Sexual harassment is when the victim is subjected to unwanted sexual advances by the perpetrator. There is also a quid pro quo harassment, whereby a victim refuses to cooperate or give in to sexual requests, and a superior threatens the victim with losing their job. Workplace mental and physical stress can destroy morale and affect the goals of the company. If you are a victim of harassment,
list names, dates, times, places, and witnesses. Ask witnesses to verify your claim in writing. Avoid keeping your written documents at the office. Keep documented evidence away from the perpetrator. Write a report and send to the designated authority.
remember, the laws protect you from retaliation.